As I remember last time we talked to you, I think it was back in January, you were saying, look, this regime in Iran is living on borrowed time, the mullahs. Within a year, if not sooner, they will be no more. Are you still sticking to that view?
Oh, yes. But I may be the stop clock in the railway station, which is right twice a day and not right the rest of the time. But look, Martin, I think there are a couple of things which are important. One, the mullahs through the foreign ministry are trying to play along the Americans, having learned the playbook from the Russians, which is if you continue to fuddle and fuss and obscure and pump fog into the negotiations, you can delay any ultimate retribution. But I'll just get that out of the way. They're not going to concede to the American demands, which are clearly focused on the nuclear issue. Because they would view that as kind of eviscerating their national sovereignty. So they're not going to agree to that. So I think the Americans will eventually go to war with them. Whether that's a short war or a long war, that's another matter. The other thing I just say, Martin, is, the reason I said that the mullahs were done is because they have no answer to the needs of the people. There's nothing in the kitty to give the people. And you're seeing, despite the imminent risk of death, that the demonstrations are starting again in the major universities in Iran, which is an act of extreme courage. So I would stick to that forecast.
Indeed, yeah, the students are out on the streets again for, I think, the fourth day in a row by now. So just to recap, David, what the U.S. is pushing for, their menu of concessions that they want to see from Tehran includes no nuclear, no enrichment, no ballistic missiles either. I mean, to your point, this is none of these are things that the mullahs are going to agree to at all. So would you do you think it'd be fair to say that they're actually, at least initially, resigned to being struck by U.S. missiles and other forms of attack, but they're hoping longer term to still survive because they know that U.S. munitions and even Israeli munitions are very limited?
Well, look, I think the mullahs have the idea that blood sacrifice is victory. They consider that they won the 12-day war, the most recent one, because although they endured huge damage, they survived. That is victory. And I think they consider they can do it again. Now, that means that if the Americans think they can, fight this war by giving the mullahs a little slap on the wrist and then waiting to see if they will start to negotiate, that won't work at all, because the psychology of the mullahs is to say, they gave us a little slap on the wrist. That's the worst the Americans can do. And look, we're still here. We won.